Hello there, everybody. Oh, God, I love how much the CC just rats me out every single time. Just snitching on me in my going ready screen. Hello, everybody. Welcome to what's left of us, a D&D podcast. I'm going to put on my glasses because the light's already bright and it hurts my face. And we're here with a special interim broadcast. Actually, you know what? I don't usually do this, but it's just me and Star here. So hi, Star.
Am I live? Do I get to say words?
Live. You get to say
oh my
words.
Goodness. Wow.
That's
Hello,
right.
words. It's me. I get to help with the intro.
You do. We are here to play a game of Dungeons & Dragons. It's a special Emery episode, everybody. So it's a bottle episode with Emery in it. Just like the last episode where we focused on Maldris and Vernon's characters, level up arcs, as it were. We are going to do this level up arc here. They're going to spend Star is going to spend a 10-day going with Emery through her what it takes for her to quote unquote level up. We won't be doing this every single level up sequence, but occasionally when we need an interlude, this is a good reason to do it. And it's mostly just this.
Wasn't here for the last one,
but it's okay.
I was in Georgia.
Listen, instead of playing with us in Fantasyland, she went to Georgia, which is a Fantasyland in and of itself. However,
everybody talks like this. Hey, y'all.
I love Georgia. I have family in Virginia, and it's so close to there. Everyone just has the same accent.
Yeah, all the streets are named the same thing. Everything is Peachtree.
Right, and all the trees have beards, which is amazing. So yeah, we're here to play our usual game of Dungeons & Dragons, except it's not usual. It's a special story mode version. And as usual, we're gonna have the same usual trigger warnings just in case. This is a game of, like I said, Dungeons & Dragons is high RP, heavy RP rather, unless we've been taking things. And that means that sometimes things can get confrontational or graphic or whatever we want, obviously within reason. But if you can't handle that sort of thing, by all means, take the time to step out and then come back in when you think it's safe. We do not have a mod on staff today. We are just us, but the auto mod should have a good time with that. And I've got my big old emergency button should the worst happen. So we should be perfectly fine here. The VOD for this will be ready as soon as possible, hopefully by the weekend. But if not, it'll be immediately after the weekend. Zoe's episode will be next week, and we'll try and figure out if Mildred wants to do theirs at some point as well. But yeah, this is just a fun little story bit for us.
Oh yeah, fun little romp, I'm sure.
Fun little romp. Certainly
fun little romp where nothing possibly terrible could go wrong given what you said right before we went live. And it's like, I'm so excited for this episode. And I'm like,
extremely excited. I'm always excited to play with my friends. Star, do any of your other gamer friends, like the people you play with, D&D with, do they watch this? Because do they get catharsis seeing me do this to you when you do this to them?
Hey, listen, I'm nice to my players, except for that one time where I cursed and then killed one of them. But listen, that was that was an accident.
I mean, I disintegrated my wife's character one time.
See, disintegration, Jay.
It was pretty harsh. Yeah.
You disintegrated your own wife.
My only wife. I had to get a new one.
Oh.
She's gonna beat me up. I'm gonna go over to the map.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made you bigger.
Disintegrate the map too?
No, the map is precious. Let's.
Oof, sir.
She's really gonna beat the shit out of me. I love you, baby, wherever you are.
Oof. Capital O, capital O, capital F. Ooh!
This is it. This is the entire thing that gets me canceled right here.
Yep. Jay is over party. Trending on Twitter.
Jay's over. Let's do it. Let's do it. I need to be stopped. Someone has to stop me. Okay, so folks, we are finally at Waterdeep. When last we left off, our party solved their own murder, and the spooky train became a normal train. I mean, chew.
Chew. What's a chew? I mean, what's a train?
What's a train? I have no idea. It's a chew.
I don't know.
And so, when they arrived, it was to thunderous applause. Nobody else knows the events that happened. All they know is that there was some foiled attempt at sabotage on the train, and 2 culprits were caught in the act by a small group of unlikely friends. Where did I move? Where's Vernon? Hold on. No one watch this for a second. Don't.
Everybody close your eyes.
Everybody close your eyes.
Sing about Dungeons and or Dragons.
Where, no, that's Vernon Gwart. That's the bad guy. Where's
Oh.
I mean, the other Vernon might be a bad guy too. Who knows? Fleming, there you are. So yes, speaking of Vernon Gwart, you did capture him. He was tied up on the train. There he is there. And also the little Eli Fumblecrumb, who I think I took off last time. Man, I'm really unprepared for some reason. And they are presented on the stage to uproarious applause. All of the folks that have paid to be here and who have investments in here, they have a troubadour off to the side singing and doing songs and stuff with a dancing automaton. And while Vernon is definitely going to be carted off to whatever amounts for justice against nobles in this place, which is like the real world, not much. Eli, however, doesn't get the usual treatment in terms of getting thrown into prison. There is someone here from the Gnome Tinkerers Guild. It's like this sort of, I mean, if you didn't know any better, Emery, you'd assume he was a paladin. He's wearing heavy armor. He's got a bunch of holy radiance on, but they're all like mechanically focused. And Eli like screams some protestation and be like, "Nah, you got the wrong man." And then like he gets hauled off by this gnome tinkerer paladin to face whatever gnomish justice requires. You imagine that whatever it is, it's very short.
Dude. A short punishment.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna do the same jokes for Zoe next week, and she's gonna just give me that look. She's got that teacher look down pat.
Just splice them all together.
That's it. I'll just get
header on Twitch.
I'll get them all off as fast as I possibly can. I mean, they'll be easy to fit into the segments because they're so small.
Ooh, lowercase OOF.
Right. And so, as you're sitting on the stage, a bunch of people come forward as soon as they're allowed to, and they start like giving you guys offers. They're like, "Come to my place. I'll see you when you're done work." Or, "Hey, do you happen to do any extra work on the side? Are you working for anybody yet?" And you get like business cards, and you get like destination choices inside Waterdeep, and a whole it's so much. It's a flurry of stuff. Almost immediately, Rathgirthard like jumps off and begins to like wander through the crowd, kind of in her element, more or less. She starts like spinning stories, and then she gets into an argument with the troubadour for a second, and it seems to be there. Vernon kind of also mills about a little bit, and you notice that little Tim Tam stops by and looks like she was maybe about to kind of hustle off on her own, and then she goes, "Yeah, I want to stay with you guys because you were nice and you were fun and you made me feel safe, and I like that. But I've got some things I got to do, and I think I need to do them on my own, at least for now. If any of you are still around in a week, I would, I don't know, maybe I can meet up with you guys?"
I mean, yeah, that works. I've got stuff to. My head's on like a swivel this entire time. For the record, I'm just like just visibly uncomfortable in the space, but just like not because of my compatriots, just because Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
But I'm just it was just. I mean, yeah, I've got to go do my own things too. But I mean, city's pretty big. But if we can catch up at a later point, maybe we can figure stuff out. I don't.
Right. That's basically what I said for your character last week. Hey,
got it.
Look at that, or the week before last, rather. And so she trundles off on her own, and she looks back a couple of times, but she's very quickly lost in the crowd, being as she is very slight. And Vernon at this point is also kind of wandering. You notice he's pressing like flyers into people's hands, and he's like schmoozing. And so he's kind of like more like he nodded at you both whenever you said like we'll meet up a little later, and did his usual yes, I agree, absolutely, we will attempt, and then he immediately like goes off to ply his spooky wares. And so yes, he goes off being generally a schmoozer. And so now you're basically alone on this stage.
Where'd Maldrus go?
Yeah, Maldrus is kind of there, but you notice almost immediately they kind of like just like fade into the
I'm just imagining just like that Simpsons gif with the bushes just
yeah, only instead of bushes it's a crowd, right? Like again, she also they also gave like a sort of slight acknowledgement before blending in, but it was you know, like it was yeah, exactly. You got the feeling that they were extremely uncomfortable. You also got the sense that they had something on their mind. I don't know.
That's
like
fair.
they're very different from the person you met originally before all this chaos happened. Not that you've met many people from the Feywild, but you know, there you are. So now you're absolutely alone. Well,
right.
with the exception, of course, of Toulouse and the porter and the, you know, couple people taking credit for everything and all of the rich people.
Yeah. Is Toulouse looking at me?
No, not really.
She's
She's more watching Vernon at the moment, like the Gwart, the bad guy.
I'm just gonna flick her off like real quick. Be like, that's fuck, you stabbed me earlier. Bye. You don't remember it, so I don't want to get into a conversation.
You don't remember, but you stabbed me. And she's like, that seems like something I would do.
You're like, yeah, you don't remember me, but you stabbed me. Fuck you. Bye.
She's very confused.
Well, like I'm doing it when she turned away because I don't want to have to explain myself. She's like, fuck you, bye.
Right? Yeah. Just in case she stabs you again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Preparing myself.
So now you are, well, where are you going? Where would you like to go?
I guess I'm gonna go find my new teacher. How much do I know about where they're like located? Do they have like a school somewhere, or do they just teach out of the house, or what?
You were given a location. You don't know the last time you were in Waterdeep. You remember the location described was a shrine to one of Faerun's many lesser gods.
Okay.
Worship of other gods isn't terribly restricted in Waterdeep. It's not like the main god of Waterdeep is big dragon, platinum dragon, starts with a B.
Bahamut.
Thank you very much. The big platinum dragon is the one of the gods of law. And so like generally any god that's not that gets a little bit of scuff when you're looking at it, right? However, it's not like you're in Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter or one of those other cities where they have a very strict this is the god of this city, don't worship anything else sort of rule. And so you'll often find little shrines dotted around the area, depending on the influence of said god. And you do remember that the location used to be, at the very least, a church to some god or another that you can't quite remember.
Okay. So I get what I'm going to do is like, so there's just like a big crowd just kind of gathered around where we landed.
Absolutely.
I am going to do my best to avoid that crowd as much as possible. Again, just head on a swivel, just not trying to make sure no one's going to come up to me without me seeing them first.
Right.
And just start making my way in that direction. Making my way downtown.
Absolutely. Well, then you do indeed make your way through the crowd. And again, every once in a while, someone will stop you and be like, "Oh, magnificent! I would very much like to employ your services, young lady, and that of your crew. Of course, it's, you know, it's a wide world out there. Lots of good work for a good mercenary group, you know."
Yeah. I'm not in charge of the crew decisions. Talk to them, and I just like point to whichever members of the squad is closest, and just
it's invariably either Rathgurther or Vernon.
I just point. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I point at Rathgurther. I'm like, yeah, go talk to her. She knows things.
Oh, excellent. So her mouth is full of food and she's spouting off stories at the moment. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just brushing off everybody. It's like, I do not want to talk to these people. Just bye. Get out
Bye,
of my way.
bye. See ya, bye.
See you, bye.
Just that thing where you slap everyone apart. Anyway, so you go through the gates, and you're back once again in familiar territory. It has been almost a whole year since you've been on these streets. And to be fair,
Yep.
you've almost never been on the streets like this, in this manner. You're usually on a palanquin or in a carriage.
Not
you
anymore.
No, not anymore.
Ah.
You're walking on foot with the huddled masses. Let's but it doesn't take you too long. Why don't you give me a survival check with advantage to see if you can find your way in the city.
Okie dokie. I know I had my character sheet open, and for some reason it is comically small in another window.
That's fun. I love it when they're small. Teeny tiny.
Say what? Survival, you said?
Survival with advantage because
I'm
you
bad
do
at
know the city.
those.
Yeah.
Oh, but I did get a nat 20 on the first one. Minus
Womp,
1 is a 9. 19.
Yeah. 19, perfect. Oh, you know what I forgot to do before we actually even really started? I forgot. Oh, you do find the spot, but to be fair, I had to start something. Chat. If you recall, chat.
Oh no.
I said that you have gained sentience. And that is indeed true. In the chat, you will find a new challenge.
Ooh.
5,000 points to give Emery inspiration that she can use on whatever she likes. However, if you reach that goal, I also get inspiration. So, do that wisely. But to go with this, like I said, this isn't just a cheap ploy, chat. You are indeed also in the game. For the first time, you're kind of feeling that you have agency. You are standing off to the side, watching this unfold. This whole thing. And though perhaps nobody can see you, you're all there, adding your voices to the medley of music that makes up this universe.
I just gave all of my points to giving myself inspiration, so...
You know what's really funny? When we started this last time, Jinx was like, I don't know if it would be cheating if I gave all my points to this. And you were just like, I don't care.
I don't care. Listen,
Bam.
I'm trying not to die over here.
Right. And so, chat, please remember that when I say you're a part of this universe, I mean that very literally. Learn more on the Discord. Links in the description. So, Emery.
Yes.
You do work your way around town. Work your way to where you need to go. You are making your way downtown. Walking fast. Faces past, and you're home. Well, maybe not homebound. Community challenge complete. Huzzah! There we go. And so not only do you have advantage, but now I get my big old DM's dice that I get to roll in addition to that.
Wait, was that part of the deal? I thought it was just for giving me inspiration.
But you get inspiration. You get to use it on whatever you want, but I also get inspiration.
What?
So I get to add that as well.
You didn't say that up front.
I did too. Guess what's happening? Oh, I gotta get some dice out. Hold on. Let's see here.
I'm taking back my points.
Taking back all your points.
I'm taking back my however many points.
Folks, DMs don't get much to eat, and all we can eat is the suffering of our players and extra D20s. So please, feed a local DM today.
I'm DM, just not for the game.
You get fed by lore now. That's what you eat.
2 barbarians and 2 rogues.
So yes, eventually you make your way through the city streets to the North Ward, the ward where all the rich folks live. And you know this ward very well, but once again, you don't usually travel it by foot. Sometimes, but not all the time.
I am definitely like shoulders tensed. I do not have positive memories of this location. Just like if I had a hood, it would be on. I am just I probably to an outsider look extremely suspicious. or maybe on something. I'm just like,
Right. Right. Just very twitchy.
Yeah. Not having a good day. Not having a good day.
But
Knees weak, arms spaghetti.
arms spaghetti. That's spaghetti. And so it is when you come to this location. Where are you? I'm gonna summon you to this board.
Cool.
That you realize it is indeed the place you were thinking of. It used to be a temple to somebody, you're not sure who, but it has been almost completely refurbished. The front doors are wide open. Where is your character? There you are. Bonk. The front doors are wide open, and you can hear from inside the clash of steel and the voices of friendly banter.
All right. I'm just gonna like kind of casually walk past the door and like peek in. I'm like, I don't know what's going on in there.
Well, take control of your character. Move it past the door.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I can do that. I'm just gonna like just
Right.
like casually walk past. It's like,
Yeah. You see people of all stripes. This is a classic Fecht Hall. You've heard of them, but you've never actually seen them before. Brother Loiker used to tell you about them specifically because he had been trained in them as when he was much younger. But you've never seen them because you've never actually been to a place that has been wealthy enough to house a place like this.
Mm-hmm.
And there are rows and rows of students, either discussing and learning how to commit certain maneuvers and actions inside of a direct confrontation. And then there are still more clusters having fun with a full-on sparring spree. And yeah, this has been delightfully redecorated to become this large hall that's been used for fencing.
Cool. Was Greta's description, was she like visually described to me? Would I be able to clock her if I saw her?
It was described that you would know her when you see her.
Helpful.
Yeah. Loiker was like that.
Okay, well, if the doors are open, then I guess I'm just gonna like try not to be too obvious, but maybe if there's anyone standing somewhat close to the door who looks like they have some sort of authority here, I'm just gonna like kind of just slide in, not like start waving my arms to get attention, but just like real low key, just be like, I have entered your location and I am looking for assistance, kind of look.
Right. And so if you slide in, you'll notice that there is someone.
Keep forgetting I can do that.
At what you would call the head of the class, and she is big. You've never seen a Harengar before, but you knew they were tall. But this lady is not just tall, but like built, right? She's wearing semi-simple clothing for the era for where she is, considering she's in the North Ward. Anywhere else, of course, you'd be calling it very rich. But yeah, she's a Harengar. She's a rabbit person. She's got big tall ears. She's got like blonde hair that's been braided into this like very bewildering assortment of loops and lops, and she has this big giant two-handed sword that she's just kind of resting on the ground with her right now. And a quick discovery notes that she's a double amputee. She's got two false legs. And she's giving directions occasionally. You can see her like pointing and talking to somebody off on the side, and then they'll try to mimic the movement. And then maybe if they're not doing it right, she'll wander up real close and like physically adjust how their hips are moving. And then as she finishes off one of the rotations, she looks over and she notices you, and she claps her hands real quick and says, "All right, everyone, time for a break. Separate out and get yourselves some water." And so everyone just kind of immediately stops and moves to the tables and like begins to pat off their sweat and get into little groups and talk about what they were doing, etc., etc., etc. What do you do?
I just kind of like make eye contact with her and just like I'm kind of unsure. It's like don't want to show weakness, but also like I don't really have authority here, so I'm just gonna like she's looking at me. She has noticed me. Yes.
Yes.
Is she making any movement to come over in my direction, or?
Nope.
All right, then I'm just gonna start walking in her direction, I guess.
Beautiful.
Yes. Just kind of get within a respectable distance. Just be like, didn't
Yes.
mean to intrude.
Uh,
Are you Greta?
I am. And who are you?
My name is Emery Black. Brother Leutger sent me here.
And how is the old dog doing?
He's doing all right.
That sounds undescriptive, but understandable. He said you were the Kurtz short.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much he sent ahead.
It was a very brief letter.
That's fair.
You know.
Well, then I guess you know why I'm here.
He asked if I gave you a once over. He said you would be a promising student.
I certainly hope to be. If you would do me the honor of teaching me.
Well, can't teach someone I don't know. Let's head outside for a moment.
After you. Hippity hops.
Hippity hops,
on
baby.
the maps.
You can definitely see that she's moving as though her legs don't really inhibit her. You know.
Mm.
Let me turn down. You're now outside, so let me turn down that ambience. Turn down the music volume just a little bit. All right, Miss Black. Aside from anything else, what do you really intend to be doing with what I might teach you?
I have been through a lot in the last year or so. And at this point, I am just trying to regain a semblance of what I had. And what I do with that is try and right a wrong that was done to me.
I see. And once you have written that wrong, what is it you intend to do?
Gotta be honest, I hadn't thought that far.
I thought as much.
I mean, everything that comes after kind of hinges on whether or not I can actually do that. So.
I won't lie to you. I spend most of my time surrounded by pampered rich folk who don't really know the meaning of pain or suffering. And most of them just want to learn how to fence. And honestly, it is my greatest life's joy to teach them that. I think if I did not have the teaching of fencing to other people, I might have sunk into a well of despair myself. It is very important for you to find something else to live for besides your revenge.
Fair enough.
However, obviously I am not a therapist, so the other thing I need to figure out is just exactly how much you know about fencing. If Leutger taught you, that means you can't be terrible.
I like to think that I'm at least subpar, or better than subpar. she's just kind of nervous and just like, oh man, I haven't had to be formal in so long.
Greta is very large as well. Like I said,
yes.
she's a big lady. And so, she steps up. She steps back about a pace, and she says, "Well."
I draw my swords.
Roll for initiative.
Oh boy, here we go. Where's my initiative button on D&D Beyond?
I have to
4.
open up my character sheet for her.
The
It's okay.
fake dice giveth and the fake dice taketh away.
They absolutely do.
Fake dice. They did me so good with that nat 20 first roll of the day. Nat 20. Thank you, fake dice. And
Nat
I rolled
20.
a freaking 3.
You rolled a 3.
3.
Interesting.
Well, you know what? I'm being polite. I'm letting her take the first move. It's fine.
Absolutely. And so she she begins. She goes first. So we are now in the turn order, as you might notice, and you can't actually do anything until I manage it.
Allow it.
That's right. And so let's just make sure we're here. Sorry, I just want to make sure everything's good. There we go. And so she doesn't actually move. She stays still and she kicks up this big sword in one move and begins looping it in a motion back and forth and around her head and back and forth and around her head in this pattern of cuts that isn't attacking you, but you can see that her reach extends beyond the 5 feet normal for someone with a weapon. Obviously, this is a bigger weapon, and so it extends out further. You know that if you come any closer to her, you are suddenly within her range. And it's your turn.
All right. I'm just imagining her doing lightsaber tricks right now. Is that kind of the vibe I'm getting?
Sort of. If I don't know if you've ever seen someone do like a cut pattern before with a longsword or with a Zweihander like what she has, but it's essentially there. She's just like cutting and twirling it around in front of herself in a way that if you were to approach from that angle would be almost impossible to avoid getting hit.
Okay. I'm not an expert in combat. I'm the fighter, but I'm just like, what do I do here? Okay. I'm going to try and do a cool kid thing. I'm going to do a little bit of parkour. I'm going to like kind of try and do like a side thing and just kind of like jump up and off the fountain and try to like kind of come at her from an upward angle and maybe see if that psychs her out enough that I can, or at the very least, I'm going to try and stop her sword from moving.
Right. Okay. Go ahead and make me an athletics check to do that sort of a jump.
Okay. Fake dice. Oh, it was almost a 19. It's an 11.
It's an 11. That's fine. That's more than good enough for you to do what you're doing. Once, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay.
But you realize that as the looping continues, it's actually really hard for you to find your way in there. So you have to make this attack at a disadvantage while she is looping her sword like this.
Ugh. You know, the first one's a 14. The second one's a 10.
10, you say?
Yeah.
In total?
In total.
Gotcha. Well, yes, indeed. As you jump off of the, let me just double check here about rulers. You jump off of this and you come over here. So that is about 30 feet. And as you land, I assume over here-ish was where you wanted.
Yeah.
Remember, in combat, you can move your character around as well.
Yeah.
And you attack her from this angle, but as you do, she loops backwards with one of her strike, and it deflects your attack completely. In addition to that, I need you to roll a dex saving throw, please.
Oh, good. Dex. 8. The fake dice are killing me.
No, that's unfortunate. Let's see here. Gotcha. And so you are also hit by the flat of her blade as you do so. Doing I need another d6.
Another?
Yeah, she's got a great sword. That's 2d6, friend. She hits you with the flat of her sword, so it only does 7 damage.
Only.
I rolled
that's
2
not a
once.
third of my health.
Righto. Is there anything else you're?
I'm a baby. Well,
Hey,
I was gonna say,
you know you got 2 attacks, yeah?
Yeah, I know. So I guess now it's like, I'm wondering, I guess, It's like I kind of want to try and see if I can just knock her off balance and kick her.
Right.
But I'm not sure if like doing that with a sword would probably be better, but yeah, fuck it. I'm going to try and trip her.
Go ahead. Ooh, that's fun.
I'm just going to like, just kind of like while I'm on the ground, I'm just going to like try and just kick her feet out from under. That's an 11.
It's an 11. Well, it doesn't hit her, unfortunately.
Yeah. I did my very best.
Right. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do? I think you're even out of movement at the moment, so.
Yeah, I can't do shit anymore.
That's right. So for her turn, she. What is she gonna do? Oh, I didn't. That's unfortunate. What she does is she stays looping her attack around, right? But for this next round, when she moves over to obviously hit at you, you suddenly she waves her hand really quickly, and you suddenly see a sword appearing on your right hand, and it flies directly at you, forcing you to kind of parry that instead. And she's going to try to give you a feinting attack. So she's going to make an attack at you. I believe that hits. Does a 27 hit you?
Yes, a 27 hits.
And so I believe you have to make what's the feinting attack do again? I believe you have to make a wisdom saving throw. Sorry, 1 second, folks. I had this open and now it's suddenly not here. I must have had it on a different thingamadoozy. Let's see, where are you? There you are. Where are you? There we are. Oh, it gives me advantage. That's fun. That wasn't exactly what I was thinking of. Maybe I was thinking of distracting. Distracting. That's it. That's it.
I was gonna look at my cat who's snuggled up next to me and be like, "Yep, in the real world, I'm not getting ravaged by swords. I'm petting a cat."
Okay, so yeah, she just adds superiority die to this, and then her next attack against the target by anybody, including her, is at advantage. So you are distracted by the sword, which turns out to be an illusion, incidentally. And so she hits you with that attack, and she does a grand total of 10 damage with the flat of her sword again. And then with her second attack, she goes in for a push. So can you make an athletics or an acrobatics saving throw, please, whichever you prefer.
Well, acrobatics is higher. 21.
Oh shit. Well, you just beat her 20. So she was trying to push you away from her, and you basically, well, I don't know, how do you stop a push?
I'm just gonna sidestep it like a badass, and then since we're leading into my turn, can I just try and like
absolutely
slash at like kind of the space between her arm and her like waist, just kind of like go in, just like she made an opening.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you're seeing the code.
The code. I'm in the Matrix. All right, so just going in with my short sword.
Short sword.
I hate these fake dice. I don't know why I'm still bothering. That's a 7.
You have lots of real dice. You know what? Screw that roll. Roll your real dice.
Real dice. Real dice.
Digital dice hate you.
That was the same. Get out of here.
Oh no. Dice yeet.
I'm
okay. All right.
I'm cursed.
I know, it's fine.
Rolled all my dice off my desk. I'm just Emery's a fighter who's just destined to take the biggest L in every fight.
I'm so sad. Well,
has a single round of combat gone well for me in this game. I'm
Not
a
so
fucking
far.
fighter. Have I ever hit anything?
Right. You know what? You do have one attack left, but before you had to make that attack, why don't you make me an insight check?
Ooh. Vibe check.
Yeah.
12.
A 12.
Mm-hmm.
On a 12, something in you, when she made her distracting strike and she summoned that little illusion of the sword to throw you off, it's like something in your brain goes, I could do that. And I'm going to grant you the ability to use your spells.
That's so fast. All right. In that case, while I'm in here, she may have dodged me. I'm going to try and go at her. I am summoning everything that I have tried to teach myself. It hasn't worked so far.
But you've been spending so much time with Brother Loiker and your other trainers, and that's kind of distracted you from what you remembered before, which was your magical training. And you realize that it could really be just as simple as weaving in some magic with your attacks. So by all means, do what you're going to do with your next attack action.
Yep. In that case, I am going to go in. I'm going all in. Thunderwave.
Thunderwave, huh? Okay. What, she got a roll for that?
Yup. Well, no, you have to roll for that. It's a con save of 12.
12? Oh no.
So each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, you take 2d8. On a successful save, you take half as much.
She rolled a 6.
Yeah.
Doesn't she also get like punted?
Yeah, she gets pushed back. 15 or wait, how many? Let me look at it again. Also, I rolled a 10. A creature takes and pushed 10 feet away from you.
Oh yeah. Oops,
yeah.
That's not what I wanted.
So I'm just doing this just with a fucking I'm mad. I've been hit so many times. I'm just the culmination of frustration is just fuck off. And then just thunder.
Right-o.
Just boom. Like fucking sonic boom.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you push her all the way back. She's very surprised. How much damage did you do?
10.
10 damage, huh? I'm just gonna mark 10 damage on her character right now. Oh, she's already got the 10 marker on there. I'm gonna use the top to mark damage. So you did 10 damage to her. Okay. All right. She goes, oh. All right, Zen. On her turn, she begins
for a second though. I'm just holding both of my swords and just like panting. Like, did that actually just happen? What the fuck?
Spell swords need to use spells. You are correct to try. So let's try something a little bit more egregious, shall we? And she begins looping her sword again. And then she sort of steps out of herself. You notice that she herself steps backwards. And when she does so, her pauldrons and the sword remain looping in that area. And her cape does as well. And you see like a sort of a dressed down version of Greta step around and kind of stay between her and you. And she's going to fire off a firebolt.
Oh.
Let me really quickly figure out a doody-doo-doo. There we go. She's going to shoot. Hi-yah. I don't think an 11 hits you, unfortunately.
Nope.
Bingo. So yeah, she misses with her firebolt, but now you're seeing like this ability for her to just kind of keep moving while this thing loops in place in a big 10-meter radius or 10-foot radius.
So
and
is this like is this like visually some kind of illusion or?
You're not quite sure what it is, but it's her real sword and it's her real like weaponry, right? And like her real pauldrons and stuff like that. It seems to have been animated somehow, and that's the space you have to avoid.
Okay, it's like
So now it's your turn.
Okay, cool trick. I also cast Firebolt.
Okay, go for it. At her or at her illusion?
At the illusion.
Gotcha.
15.
15 hits, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a 10.
That's a 10.
Damage.
Womp womp. The illusion like drops, like all of the animating parts of it just kind of fumble, and the sword clatters to the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna. So I know. So I know this is usually like a house rule thing. Are cantrips considered bonus actions or not?
So if a cantrip is a bonus action, then you can cast another spell with it.
Okay,
It'll
I'm
say
not looking to
that-
cast a spell. I'm gonna rush her while her
go for
sword's
it.
down.
So when you cast a spell, that still counts as an attack action, but it only counts as one of your attack actions because you're a fighter.
Okay.
So-
Well, I have a bonus action to attack with my other sword.
Well, you have two attacks on the regular plus a bonus action with your sword.
Ah, I love being a fighter. All right,
I know,
I'm just
right?
now that. So, is she still holding a sword, or is her sword and her armor just
She
gone?
appears to be completely like her sword and her weaponry are right in front of her. She doesn't appear to be having anything.
I am rushing at her.
Go for it.
Nyom. And just going in with my short sword.
Go for it.
15.
Beautiful. Sorry, I took a bite. I'm hungry.
I was like eating.
I was like,
job.
oh my god, it's getting good. Sorry, you said 14?
14. 15.
Yeah. Well, because she is no longer wearing her armor, I believe that hits her. Hold on. Let me have a second. Is she actually wearing anything? Yeah, she is. Yeah. So yeah, without her like breastplate and pauldrons on, you hit her. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah, finally. Well, that's a 7.
So what?
7.
7? Poor Greta.
Oh, poor Greta. She took me down to 6 HP in like 2 hits. She can deal.
That's right. So she goes, did Loitka not tell you that you should be wary of getting very close to your opponents? And she grabs you with a grapple.
Good.
Make an athletics check to see if it play.
Athletics. Would this be a save or a check?
This will be a save. You could use your because she's grappling you, you can use your acrobatics or your athletics.
Okay.
And I'm using my inspiration for this.
Oh. That's an 11.
An 11. Well, unfortunately, she gets like an 18 with that roll. So you are grappled, and then she immediately pulls you to the ground, and you're both restrained as she wrestles you.
No.
So you're both kind of like you came forward with a couple of slashes, and she took them, but she traps your sword, and then she lifts your arm up like Licker used to do whenever he trapped you, and then she pulls both of you down. So you're both kind of immobile. And then in her free hand, she summons her longsword, and it just appears out of nowhere. It's not the greatsword that's on the ground in front of you. It's a different weapon. And she pushes the point towards your neck. Do you yield?
Yeah.
So you're not that angry after all.
If she looks down at me, I am shaking. Like, almost in tears. But it's not like upset. It is relief.
Right.
Almost. I'm just like, I have been trying to do that for so long, I forgot what it felt like. Did I actually just cast?
Yeah. she pulls you to your feet, and she pulls out like a little like handkerchief that she keeps on like her belt. And she's like in her dressed down state. She's much simpler. She's just wearing like a simple like swordsman's blouse and that sort of thing. And she just hands you the bit while she goes and collects her things.
I'm just like, I'm tough guy trying to hide it, but is definitely like very emotionally overwhelmed right now. It's
Right.
just like trying to be cool, but definitely still like sniffing a little bit. It's just like,
Right.
what did you do? How did
What?
you just? I've been trying to do that for so long, and one fight, it's.
Leutger said you had the eye, and I wanted to see if you could actually tell what I was doing mid-combat. I telegraphed a little bit more than I probably should have, but you seem to pick it up. And at this point, you realize that the reason you could see the hand motions she was doing is because she was doing them very deliberately in front of your face.
It feels like a missing limb just grew back.
She looks down at her feet.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
Bad
I've
metaphor.
been without them for quite some time.
I mean, you make it work.
You get along. It's... Leutger hasn't told me much about your past. I'm afraid I still cannot train you if I cannot trust where you're coming from. Is there anything else you can tell me?
What do I need to do to prove that you can take me as a student?
Oh, you've already proven I could take you as a student.
But you won't teach me.
Yeah. Do you know what it means to be an Elder's Knight? We're not just some fighters, you know. We're following a long tradition of people who are made to defend other people. If you're just some angry woman, and I teach you how to shoot a fireball while wielding a sword, do you know how much more powerful that makes you than the average town guard?
I came here to learn, and you're just not going to teach me because I'm too... What? Angry?
No. I am angry. Half of the people in that guild hall are angry. Your anger doesn't define you, but at the moment, without more to go off of, I don't know you. I don't know that your anger won't consume you. Give me something. Do you have anyone you love? Do you have friends?
My sister.
Oh?
She's here in the city.
I see.
And I haven't been back in a long time, and my family doesn't miss me, but I need to make sure that she's okay. And as I haven't... If fucking anything could happen to me, whatever, I want to make sure that she's okay. And right now she is in danger, and I don't think she even knows.
Well, that's a start. I'll give you one, too. Can't have a quid pro quo without quid, huh? I am stuck here, lost from the place I grew up. I've been here a very long time and I can't find my way back. But, it's life.
Where's that?
A place called Taldore. You wouldn't know it.
That's a surprise. I feel like I've watched a couple 100 hours of people in that area.
That's strange. Where could that be from? okay? I'll teach you. But you're making a commitment. Again, you're not just going to be an ordinary fighter. I train princelings and noblings in my fecht hall. Most of them can't even cast magic missile. You? If you take this on, you'll be doing something different, but you will gain the responsibility. You won't just be a fighter, you will be a cavalier. Do you know what that means?
Emery would, but Star doesn't.
the old tradition of eldritch knights in Faerun in general, and you would know this from storybooks. You don't know the realities of it, which could, of course, in your experience, be like they're corrupt monsters. Who knows? But in fairy tales, anyway, the beautiful romantic idea of the eldritch knight is a spell sword who travels the wilds in search of people that need help. And at the very least, you can see that Greta believes it. I'm not even going to need to give you an insight check about that. That's something that she very deeply believes in.
So...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was trying to remember the original context of like what she was saying. It's like, so... Oh, okay. I'm good. I'm not a stranger to responsibility, believe it or not.
Oh, I can see that. I will train you for this first 10 day, and I will get you ready to go. Every time you come to see me, I will also have a mission for you. And you will not receive training until you come back with proof that you have completed a good deed for someone. We understood?
Fair enough.
Very well, then. You will be under my employ. We will wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and we will start with exercises. You will eat nothing but cheese and bread, and I will get you the extras you need after that. It'll be a tough and grueling experience, but by the end of this, you will be molded.
Sounds like fun.
And you're off almost immediately. For the rest of this 10-day, Greta barely lets you out of the compound. You're able to sleep. Greta has a small house right next to the fecht hall that she allows you to sleep in. It is filled with manuscripts and pages and books, and it's the thing you quickly get over this 10-day is that what Greta does is much more scholarly than other types of fencing. The books contain not just fencing procedures like you saw in some of the books that Brother Liker was able to share with you, but also how to weave in spells at the right moments, to block and parry and weave through a combat while still shooting off spells for yours and your allies' defense. And after this 10-day, you have reached level 3.
Woohoo!
Now, at the very end of this 10-day, of course, you're given leave to wander about town before Greta thinks up something that you can do. Do you go anywhere?
So I just want to say, like, if she has a whole bunch of like those scripts, when I am not training, I am devouring those.
Oh, part of your training is reading them. She mandates it.
Yeah. Like even if it's like you just like, oh, you're on break from training. Nope, still reading.
Right.
But at some point after I've been here for a while, kind of just one of my first chances to leave, just go take a walk. I'm gonna wait until it's like late enough that there's not a lot of people on the streets, but not so late that it would be suspicious for me to be seen walking around.
Right.
And I am going to the Von Arselen Manor.
Right. So it's also in the North Ward, and the fortified manor estate of the Arselian family is it's in an area of town that is only other fortified manor estates, so it's just a little bit ways off from here, but separate. And it's often patrolled by guards, and of course each house has its own like guards with their own livery devoted to that house. Some of them have full armies almost, and the Arselian family household was one of them. And you're wandering down the streets, and you see within sight is the house, and there's a carriage parked out front.
So DM, I need to clarify a few things.
Yep.
Because so in the past, so you know and I know, but the audience does not know. There was an event in Emery's past that I am going to refer to as the fucking.
The fucking, absolutely.
Post the fucking, I have come back to Waterdeep exactly one time, and
Right.
I guess what I'm asking for clarification on is so I would have come back and like tried to talk to the family at post the fucking and be like, hey, here's what's going on, and then they just kind of didn't believe me and then threw me out for just being a raving lunatic, basically.
Right.
Would they remember my face, you think?
Maybe. You imagine that they get if you recall, people used to try to sneak into the estate all the time because you're rich, obviously. So maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't.
I mean,
But
I guess it's kind of under the cover of darkness. Maybe I have just like, I kind of put like my hair back in kind of a different way and just kind of like trying not to act suspicious, staying far enough away and in the dark that like maybe they can't make out all my facial features. It's like maybe I'm just a normal tiefling who's just here for no reason. It's fine.
It's fine.
Fine. But I'm definitely just trying to do a vibe check.
Trying to do a vibe check, eh? Why don't you give me that perception check then?
Vibe check. But perception or insight?
It's,
well, they're both the same.
Like, yeah, perception for things trying to see, but if you're trying to feel, you need something to go off of for an insight.
That's a 2-1.
Woo! Hey, did you use
the fake dice?
Did you use your inspiration yet?
I haven't. May I?
If you would like. This is your inspiration. You can use it however you want. I already used mine.
That is true. That's true. That's much better. That's a 17 minus
17.
1, that's 16.
Again, you see like the giant monolithic construction of your family's stone building. It brings you a small pain. You didn't have great memories here, but like it was your home. And so you've got that feeling of familiarity. You maybe even touch the fence because you would remember that feeling. It's just that sort of izziness to it. You know, the family crypt is around back. You know that your sister's fairy garden is also back there somewhere. Everything is dark right now except for that carriage. And as you watch, a couple of guardsmen come out of the carriage first. One well decorated. You remember being the keeper of the house's watch. You know them very well. And then following right behind is a lady in purple.
You ever just decide to do a thing and you're like, this will not end well, and then when it doesn't end well, you're just like not surprised, but you're still pissed off?
Right. What do you want to do?
I feel like I can't do anything.
She's well guarded.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of their field of vision at this point, right?
Yeah, in fact, they're already making their way through the gates.
I'm just kind of like, you said I was like over by the fence. I'm just like squeezing one of the iron poles of the fence just so fucking hard.
Right.
Just taking all of my willpower not to fucking charge this lady and just stab into her, but it's like there's nothing is going to come of that. You are just going to just get fucked up again. Nothing good is going to come of it. I'm all of my willpower, literally all of it, to not just charge over there.
Oh yeah. You're so attuned to everything that's going on right now that I think your perception checks wouldn't be needed. You're watching this happen, and she's making her way languidly to the front entrance, and the door opens and a younger woman runs out real quick, and then it's like she remembers something that she was supposed to be doing as opposed to running out and greeting this woman, and instead she stands off to the side and she bows her head, and the woman in purple nods serenely at the younger woman and then continues past as though she doesn't exist.
Do I recognize the younger woman?
You do indeed. There's a small shudder in her shoulders, and then she stands back up erect again, and follows the party inside, and the doors close.
I just like slam my fist into the fence. It's
And
just...
as you slam your fist into the fence.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
As you slam your fist into the fence, something rattles near you because you're on the very edge of the fence's property, and a paper that had been nailed to the postern here falls right in front of your face. It's one of the standard sorts of advertisements you often see in areas around town. It's an advertisement for a public trial and execution thereafter. It's one of those foregone conclusion things that you often see, and they're often spread about in richer areas because one of the things that wealthy people do is, especially people like your father, is officiate and then get their kicks off of watching this sort of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And it says upcoming trial and subsequent execution of Ulrich von Arcelin for the attempted kidnap and murder of Amelia Arcelin. You recognize the face of your uncle.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
And you realize that he's likely being held in a prison nearby.
I hate this fucking city so goddamn much.
And with that, we're going to call it a day.
Ah! No! No! Oh, son of a bitch!
Yes. Ah. So because we are obviously not in a big crew, we're not going to have a sort of a talks episode for this, but if anyone has any questions in chat, now is the time. And also obviously Star, if you have any questions.
I face in my kitten and scream. 1 second.
Yeah.
She didn't like that.
Poor kitten.
She just kind of rolled. She's having a nap on her little cat tree that's right next to me. She doesn't know what's going on. She's clueless to all of this. Take a sip of my water.
Right. So like I said, that sort of level up sequence not going to happen at all times. This was just the first one, so I wanted to make it special. And obviously we had some characters to introduce. So there you are. You are now level 3. You can make sure that your character's spell book is up to date. We can also talk about any spells you might have already in your spell book. So we'll talk about that in between episodes. And yeah, other than that, any questions at all?
Not from me. I'm just like, what? I'm just sitting here going like, what the fuck am I gonna do about that?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Chad, if you're gonna have questions. Now's the time, real quick, before we
sit here and
prepare to exit.
Chug my water with the little buffering wheel above my head, going like, what the fuck, 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 what the fuck.
Also, a quick note, all of the maps that I have been using for this, I tend to make a whole bunch of them. Like, for instance, that Bactal I made myself, but the Arcelin estate, for instance, is made by a member of the Tailspire community. They put everything up on Tail Bazaar. If anyone wants a list of the assets I have used from that sort of thing, by all means. It just, obviously, with things being as hectic, I can't make everything. And so luckily there's a robust community that gives up their designs for the betterment of the community here. So, you know, there we go. Which person you just found was the most alarming, Emery?
Well, finding out that my uncle is under arrest and to be executed was probably the most alarming. But also just, I hate this town. I hate this fucking town so much. Nothing good has ever happened in Waterdeep, but I fucking come back here.
Oh, it's terrible. I imagine you all aren't going to be spending very much time here at all if you can avoid it.
Yeah, probably not. It's like I wasn't I was gonna bring this up with Greta, and then I went off and did my own fucking thing, and then this happened. It'll come up in the next episode probably. I wasn't super looking forward to coming back here just yet. This was gonna be I come back when I'm ready to face my fate type of thing, and now I'm here already, and I found out that my fucking uncle's gonna die, and I'm just like, God fuck damn it.
Jeez. So it sounds like someone's been messing with your family while you haven't been around.
I know. Imagine that. Imagine if the backstory I wrote is coming back to bite me in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, like, why? It's weird that your uncle would try to kidnap a member of the family. That sounds odd.
It is. It's very sus. It's very sus AF.
It is extremely sus AF. Yeah, it's super weird, right? Ron is asking how we get the Sharingan exactly. You have to be born into a ninja house. It's not my rules. This is...
In Emery's case, she had it already and then lost it and then got it back.
Right, yeah.
The power of getting
that was a clutch Thunderwave, incidentally.
Yeah. I was deciding spells moments before we went live because I was like, oh fuck, I never finished picking spells. Oh shit. Thunderwave's fun.
I actually didn't choose any of Greta's spells either. I had to quickly like pick them real quick. So there was like a little bit of illusion. There was a little bit of what you had, you know. How common are arcane fighters around here? In a lot of normal Faerun stuff, they are relatively common in terms of how common adventurers are. In my setting, they're something special. They're an order of knights. Because I like to take things literally, because why not? And like Greta herself is based off of someone in history that I study quite a bit. Then except I made her not a dick. Well, actually, that's not true. She's a bit of a dick. But like,
a bit of a dick.
It's a bit of a dick. I gave her some really cool magical items though. So.
But yeah, I was, folks who have watched previous episodes will remember I was a little bit cagey about like what my subclass was gonna be because I didn't want people to know I was gonna get magic. I wanted it to be a surprise. And now we know.
Yeah. Also, props to the Hero Forge models. We only got a couple of them in here, but like, they're pretty good. I enjoy them. There's a shot of the purple lady for Star's Discord, who were going ravenous over it a little while ago.
Oh, yeah! They're gonna be so mad at me.
They are. Like, I haven't even looked yet, but I bet you they're so upset.
Mad at me. I was just like, yeah, just draw a character wearing purple and my Discord will go fucking insane. And I was just like, I could draw Amelia wearing literally anything. I'm gonna have her wearing purple because you know purple's a color of like nobility, and for no other reason. We will have Hero Forge models for all the players. Obviously, it's just this month I do not have enough credits, etc., etc. So we will we'll get that sorted in a little bit. I made one for Emery and I have not downloaded it yet.
Yeah.
How much is it for a single model? I could probably find
it's like $8, something like that.
Magorl.
For your gore, you'll have to get the VTTS model instead of the STL.
Okay, well, I will confer with you on that before I go around throwing my money at people.
Absolutely. Beyond that, that's it for this week. Next week, at some point, I'm talking with Zoe about it. We're gonna do Zoe's version of this, so stay tuned for that. We might mix it in with Mildred's. Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't want to speak for anything for Mildred. I haven't touched base with them yet, so we'll see.
One more little bit of flavor I wanted to throw in. It never came up when we were on the train, but the book that Emery kept reading was a magic book because she had just been trying to teach herself the whole time and was obviously not successful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Flavor.
Absolute
tasty flavor.
So if you folks want any of this stuff, if you folks want any of the extra bonus content that we do make here at What's Left of Us, you can follow us on the Discord and you can get all the information from there. What's Left of Us.card.co, card with 2 R's, is our website. It also has literally all of our links there. And yeah, any of you subscribers, any of you who support us on Patreon or Ko-Fi, and I will keep saying Ko-Fi instead of coffee because I like
You
it.
monster.
I know. It's like I say GIF.
It's Jess!
You can all if you join the Discord, generally that's how we get things around. You can link all of those accounts to the Discord. You will get a special area of our Discord that only is accessible by those of you who monetarily support us, and you get a whole bunch of bonus content that we have in between the episodes that I make. But I think Star, you said you were going to try your hand at making some of them now.
Yeah. Because we're all doing like character introductions, and I've scripted Emery's, but I have not recorded it yet.
Right, and then once we have that all good, maybe they'll end up on the YouTube as well in some form. I have no idea.
With some spicy little character trailers or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Also, I want a Greta fan cam. Someone make one for my big Goral.
It's just static images panning with like little glitter shots
of
just like the tail spot or the Hero Forge model.
I will give the Hero Forge link. Don't you worry. Everyone can have a good look at my Goral. She's amazing. I love her. Anyways, that was it. Star, where can the good folks out there find you?
I am everywhere. I am omnipresent. I am all-seeing. As long as you follow me on the Starfish Face at literally every socialmedia.com.
Woo!
I also, if you like Emery's spicy secrets and you want more spicy secrets and intrigue, go read my webcomic, maybe castoff-comic.com.
Is that
also on Tapas and Webtoon?
Is that the comic that has just recently hit the 7-year mark with chapter 10?
It is conveniently. Yeah,
conveniently.
I finished drawing chapter 10 like 2 days ago.
So good.
And it's the longest chapter to date. It's going to be 115 heckin' pages.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's coincidentally written by previously published author, very published author.
Oh,
Star.
ho. Yeah, I wrote a book about making comics.
Absolutely. So she's the authority, if you will. The authority.
I know approximately 4 things.
Mm-hmm.
And I can talk about those 4 things for long enough for an entire book.
That's absolutely. Yeah. I almost forgot to do my own plugs. You can obviously find me here. I am doing things all the time on this channel, and obviously on any of the links I mentioned before, the card website, the YouTube, the Discord especially. Please come by and give a follow. We would love to see all of you. And yeah, I think that's it. That's our little one shot for our angry Goral. You will find us again at the very least at the end of this month. That is June 24th, I believe. Yeah, June 24th is the next main episode, and we will continue on our story from there. We're going to see what the party does, how the party stays together, if they choose to indeed to do so, and the next steps on this manic journey that we have thrown ourselves into.
Can't wait to find out what family members everyone else has gotten arrested.
Hell yeah. Say goodbye, everybody.
Oh no!
Good night for now, folks. We'll see you later.
Well.